Aho, 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 ho'oponopono, aho, mitaki oyasin, jai bhagwan, namaste, house, oosh, 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 sana. Welcome home, my family, my brothers, my sisters. Welcome aboard. Today I have for you 3 messages from Theresa Crabtree. You can go ahead and visit theresacrabtree.com. On there you'll see the celestial gatherings. That is what I'm reading to you. These are called Message from the Masters. I'm going to start with the March 2nd, and it says, "Greetings, dear ones. We are truly blessed to have this conscious connection with you. Most have no clue as to the blessings that are available to them. If they simply understood, believed, and asked for assistance, it is your role to be a guide to those who are awakening. Teach them to look within for answers and solace. There is much unrest at this time as things heat up in Russia. Do keep in mind that if this were 100 years ago, you would not have known in an instant what was happening far away from your borders. Those in the region would know little until they saw a surge of refugees in their country. We say this is to remind you that what is happening across the world does not have to be part of your daily worries. Let those involved in the game take care of what is happening around them. This is not to say don't pray for others, but there's power in prayer. This is not to say don't offer solace or needed items to those who are suffering. You do not need to stick your head in the sand or pretend that there is no unrest of evil in the world. However, there is much going on that you do not need to focus on to the point where you cannot center yourself. Being grounded is of extreme importance in order to manipulate your path while incarnate. Yet remembering your roots as a child of God, as a being of light, is of even more importance. Thus, when you can, unplug from the news and avoid negatively focused people. This will help you to deal better with what is happening in the circle or community in which you find yourself. As you learn to spend a great deal of time in meditation and walking your path in a serene manner, then it will be easier for you to maintain inner peace, no matter what is happening around you. Too many are becoming completely overwhelmed emotionally due to so much stress in the world. If you do not keep your balance, then you become part of the problem. Do not neglect to keep the big picture in mind. That life on earth is fragile and it is temporary. Yet at the moment of death, those who have found their spiritual roots will easily slide out of their bodies and leave these interesting experiences behind. Many have chosen to come to earth to experience strife for varied reasons, yet no matter what, the blessing comes from the opportunities to go within and to experience giving and receiving love against all odds. That is the fast track to mastery of unconditional love and is the base reason why many are currently incarnated. The earth was never meant to get this low vibrationally, yet the gift of free will has created much suffering due to the misuse from many through the ages. If you wish to raise the vibration on the earth plane, then you must increase your ability to love. This means loving those who hurt others. For in most cases, the ones who hurt others the most have suffered greatly, oftentimes during many lifetimes. These energies are stuck in their soul energy and brought with them into the next life. This may be true for you as well if you have had several lives in human form. Be gentle with yourself and kind to others, for you do not know all of what is happening behind the scenes. There are many who claim to be light workers and truly desire to experience unconditional love, but they are faltering and becoming haters of those who do dastardly deeds. Yet we must love them too. Not what they do, but because at their very core lies a spark of God in them, just as it is within you. Thus be wary of the words you utter against others, for this just adds fuel to the fire. It is of much more value to gather with others who are concerned about world events and to pray for peace to prevail. Then you will be offering the energy of love and peace instead of negativity and gossip. This is your free will choice, which is offered to you every moment. Before speaking and doing, take time to ask yourself, will this help to be part of the problem or part of the solution? Choose wisely. We love you beyond measure. Choose love always, always. Metatron and the Masters. Transcribed by Reverend Theresa Crabtree. Consider joining us for future celestial gatherings as a means of propagating more harmony and balance within ourselves and spreading outward. Please share with those who have ears to hear. TheresaCrabtree.com/celestial-gathering. Again, just going to our website and then being able to navigate all the things that are on there. So a couple things came up for this one for me. One, like recognizing that if God did not love these people, they would not be like alive now, right? Just like the people who have gone home or back to the stars or in heavenly place are also equally loved. There's also another level here. Talking about how like hurt people. When you study trauma and how it affects the mind and the body, this is also in The Body Keeps the Score. It talks about how like common it is for the exact abuse that happens to the person, that person will express that exact abuse outward as a way of just, in some sense, I imagine it would be a form of communication. However, I'd love to do some more homework on those things. And there's one more little thing here that caught my attention. The free will stuff, man. Just like how we have a choice, we can be given this instruction on our heart or from this divine I am that I am, or all those different things. Though, how much are we actually deeply listening, or should I say Shema, and falling into that obedience or that compliance of listening to that love, not to the fear, not believing that lie or that enemy or that weapon of mass soul destruction. Yes, instead choosing to perform or act or behave or operate or respond from a place of love. Also, another aspect that I can't help but think about is like if someone is doing an incorrect behavior, perhaps they are speaking in ways that are not of use to the like person getting what they want or to communicating their need or their injury or all these different things. Sometimes love can look like what some people might think isn't loving, right? Like, for example, some people might think it's better to ignore and not say anything. However, perhaps if you are a mom or a dad, you will know, no, you are going to communicate and elaborately go into detail. This is why this is not so good. Or other gentle ways of kind of communicating that, I'm not really a parent, so I can't really speak of that other than, taking care of lovely animals and all the other people that I have in my heart, you could say. So moving on to March 17th update. She says, greetings, dear ones. We are honored to be of service to you. Do call on us when you have questions, want advice, or simply in need of an energetic hug or a dose of love. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? You can draw from the source of divine love at any time, yet when your beliefs, fears, or unconscious thinking has led you astray, you may forget this. Any blocks you have are created by you. Thus, it is important to pay close attention to your thoughts, words, and actions. This is a critical time on earth, and all is in need of your participation to get through this transition as gracefully as possible. It is thus very important to keep yourself grounded at all times. We cannot emphasize the need and importance of daily meditation or deep breathing in order to get yourself into a state of inner peace and to maintain it. Remember your true roots as a spirit being. Here for the experience of creating within a limited physical realm. Do enjoy the beauty of your spirit peers as you notice the variety of flora and fauna that surrounds you. This is the artwork of those who have come before you, not necessarily in physical form, but those who helped to create the wonders of this planet. Some of them now walk among you. Perhaps you had in hand some of these creations yourself. There is much seeking knowledge about which planet one came from. There is much fear or desire to know more about extraterrestrials. Yet, go within and you will discover that you and everyone around you has lived in a variety of other planetary worlds, both physical to some degree and some simply as energy beings. So, why compare yourself to others? Why judge others? Your roots are all the same. Practice looking at each person around you as another ambassador of God. For each of you has ultimately come from the same source, and one day you shall re-emerge with that source. Truly, you can never be apart from the source, for the source is all there is. Thus, it would be beneficial for you to focus on that reality rather than the lower energies abounding in the world around you. Many have fallen far from the unity, love, peace, and joy seated within. Be wary that you do not follow their path. Seek to keep your focus on your true roots. Unplug from the things that do not need to be your reality. In many ways, life was simpler before the ability to know global events in an instant. For then you needed to only deal with what was happening in your inner circle, your tribe. Even though there was war and famine, those who lived remotely knew nothing about it and were able to live their lives freely without all these extra distractions. What was happening remotely was not part of their reality. Choose to do the same with your life. Focus your love, peace, and joy from within and radiate that outwardly. If what you hear on the news or from the mouths of others keeps you off balance, then that is a sign that you are overly attached to the choices of others. Pull yourself back into your reality. Pray for others to awaken, but don't lose sight of your awakening path and assisting those who come to you for support. If you are too involved in the trauma and drama of others, then you become part of the problem. Be in the world, not of the world. You came to this world to be a physical expression of God. Thus, anchor love, peace, and joy. These are your greatest gifts to offer others. You will take nothing with you from this physical reality other than memories and whatever energies you have created. Any energies that you would prefer not to take with you into your next life would be a good start to releasing now. If full ascension is your chosen path, then this is a must. There are many paths to ascension, thus be careful not to judge the choices of others. For even their worst choices leading to addiction or despair could be part of their awakening. Do not enable those who will not do for themselves. Assist within balance those who come to you. But be mindful of whether they are doing for themselves first what they are asking of you. To do otherwise will create a codependent relationship, which is not healthy for either of you. When you give fully without expectations. For if the other does not meet your expectations, then you will falter. This is not an expression of unconditional love. Be discerning and prayerful before offering assistance, for if you deplete yourself, then both of you will go down. If another does too much for you, then you will be weakened. Support each other with love. Those who are your greatest challenge, send them love or focus your attention away from them. Those who seek to do you harm, increase your self-love and allow your energy field to protect you from their trespasses. Be in communion with the masters, seeking advice and assistance. Yet know that we cannot do for you what you will not do for yourself. This is why many prayers seem to go unanswered. Many want a magic fix, yet are not communing with us or God through daily meditation. If you seek God/divine love, you will find it hidden within you. And you are the one who has hidden it with years and lifetimes of unsavory choices. Thus go within and clean your house, and you will find that divine spark right there in your heart region where it has been since your inception. There is much truth in the adage, go within or go without. What you seek lies within. Whenever you feel off balance, take several deep breaths in and out. Then take time to pay attention to the root cause of imbalance. Be wary of this throughout the day as soon as you notice something feels off. Then, at your earliest opportunity, pull yourself away from the anxiety before it anchors more deeply within your energy field. The ultimate goal is to be in conscious communion with your spirit guides. Then you will more readily make life choices that will lead to your goal. This is conscious living. You will not get there with a few moments of quiet reflection each day. Look into the lives of the great saints and see the importance meditation was in their daily life. Yet they still had time to go about their daily life, whether they chose to be monks or householders. Simplify and focus on who, what, and how you wish to portray yourself in the world. Then anything that is a distraction leading you astray, walk away from it. How can I create... Going too ahead. Begin each day with gratitude. Start each day with asking yourself, how can I create more love, peace, and joy in my life today? Then do so. At the end of the day, reflect upon your choices. Then consider what changes you would prefer to make. Then when you arise to begin the next day, again, express gratitude and reflect upon your question. It won't be long before you will see a marked increase in love, peace, and joy. The choice is yours, and the choice is made in the moment. Choose wisely. We love you always, always, the masters. Transcribed by Theresa Crabtree. Feel free to share this message in its entirety. Consider joining us for future celestial gatherings. TheresaCrabtree.com. So this brought up a couple different things. One of them is talking about like how important it is for us to allow ourselves to feel good in our own bodies. Like no matter what it is that we're focusing on, like just allowing ourselves to actually go deep into the emotion. We're always running so quickly away from the other emotions that are coming up at times, So instead of like suppressing the emotion that wants to come through, either sitting with that or again redirecting our focus, a form of meditation, redirecting our mind purposely, intentionally, consciously, concentrating, focusing upon one thing. And one of the most ancient meditations is focusing upon your breath. However, you can choose something else to consistently focus upon. However, again, concentrating on that really, really feel-good moment, even if it's from being inside the womb and not even being completely formed, the gestation period, you could say. Another thing that this constantly talks about is basically like not getting involved in other people's things And like basically to me that's like a joke that we're trying to play God, right? We're trying to be like, hey, what are you doing with your life? What's wrong with you? Like, like that shadow work, like we're pointing fingers, but really like it's like self-reflection, like what we have battles with outside of us are reflections of the self and not really so much with what's in front of us. See if there's anything else here. Giving others the permission of choice is also very, very valuable of this. That is a form of love. And it's not always fun to witness and be that form of completely seeing someone, yes, and watching them, as it's called, falling on your own sword, going down with your own ship, but we all have our past, and through going through those things is kind of how we can help others get through that path, right? We're like, oh, I walked that road. I've been down there before. Oh, I know how this story ends. Let's change this ending real quick. You know what I mean? All these different levels. However, I'm also interested in sharing like this other aspect that like when something is really pressing on our heart and our mind, like that Holy Spirit is stepping through, we can always ask the person, hey, can I have permission to share how I feel or some advice, or I'd love to share this with you. It's really, it's so loving and it's like so much passion. I'd love to share this bursting thing with you. Last but not least on this particular one, I absolutely loved how she brings our attention to the ancient saints and just how much time was really, 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 really spent in meditation and silence. So I thought that was really, really beautiful and something that definitely made me want to meditate a little bit more. So last but not least, the release from yesterday. So we have the April 1st, 2022 New Moon Celestial Gathering. A message from the Masters. Blessings, dear ones. We hope that you are enjoying the change of seasons. Let this be a reminder of all changes and cycles in your life. There is nothing that remains stagnant in the universe. Change is all there is. At times, change can be frustrating, yet if you pull yourself in the current moment and focus on what is at hand, then it can be less overwhelming. Fill your moments with gratitude, seeking the good in all that is. Even those things that are labeled as bad offer much opportunity for growth and expansion. Thus, when you find your mind wandering to negative events, especially the unforeseen possibilities of the future, pull right back into the current moment. Do the same when you find yourself commiserating about past events. You are a creator down to your very core. You are made in the image and likeness of God. That is to say, the like God, you are a creator being. While in the human flesh, it can become very easy to get swallowed up in what feels like a stagnant life. Yet, know that no matter what, there is always at least one solution to each problem that leads to a doorway to greater things. One must change their perspective in order to leave the mire out of stagnation. Look beyond what has happened in the past. Seek out answers by pondering on the choices that others have made when they were in a similar situation. Then try various possibilities until you can jolt yourself out of the fear and limiting beliefs that you have held onto as your reality. When you ponder and reflect on the choices you made as a child, a teen, a young adult, notice how many of those choices no longer reflect who you are this day. With maturity and life experiences, one begins to see things with a new lens. How often have you had aha moments when you suddenly realized why your parent, friend, coworker, boss, or acquaintance made a particular choice, one that previously you disagreed with, or scratched your head wondering why someone would make that choice? That is a sign of you seeing something from a new perspective. Something you held onto as the gospel truth may suddenly have a new and deeper meaning. Or perhaps you can see how immature and foolish it has been to hold on to that fear or belief. One tends to do this often when judging others, for humans tend to make assumptions and hold expectations that others should be or act a certain way. Yet no one knows fully what is going on with that person. Even each human does not have full understanding all that is going on in their life. No one fully knows their life path when they incarnate. One may get snippets of information and intuition about certain events, but those can easily be overridden by one's free will. The resistance usually comes as a result of previous life choices. There are many other factors to consider, such as the damage that occurs when under severe stress, including abusive relationships. This tends to filter one's ability to trust, to love, and to feel loved, all of which can easily distort one's choices and ability to trust their intuition. Each human is also affected by other lifetimes as humans. This comes as a result of unresolved trauma that is stored in one's energy field. One need not to know what happened in these past lives, although great healing often occurs when a human has fuller understanding of where some of their phobias and habits have their roots. However, it is important to understand that no matter when or where the root cause began, one can change the behavior, attitude, thought, fear, belief, etc. in the twinkling of an eye. Again, it usually happens when one can shift their perspective and see the issue from a new standing point. The best way to change one's perspective is through silence and going within. Ask to be shown a new way to see the situation. In some cases, it may be helpful to ask the other person involved to work with you to resolve an issue. For many problems begin with erroneous assumptions and not taking time to know the full story behind one another's choices. Both will need to have the maturity and the communication skills to resolve the situation. This will better work if neither does any finger pointing. That made me laugh. But instead has the sincere desire to get to the root of the problem and resolve it together. Then a strong foundation can become the basis for a beautiful and lasting relationship. Isn't this what unconditional love truly is? We encourage you to go within and to see what you can do to bring each person you are in relationship with into more loving and nurturing experience. You cannot change another, only yourself. Yet at the core, most people want to feel that they are heard, respected, and loved. Thus offer these to others, whether they are ready to accept it or not. Then be this way yourself and watch many of your relationships blossom. Of course, there are some relationships in which it is better to walk away from, but do so gracefully as you are able to in that moment. There is no one who is a twin flame relationship or any other that is expected to remain in a position in which they are continually battered. Rather, remove yourself, or at least distance yourself so that you can build your own strong foundation first. Then, when the torrent of winds and actions of others pelt you like a hurricane, you can withstand the storm because you are well grounded. Yet still, wouldn't it be wiser to shelter yourself from the storm? You can do much good to assist those who are tormentors by sending them love and compassion. But you do not need to do so while in their presence. For if you falter and cannot stand your ground from a compassionate place, if you cannot hold on to inner peace, then you both will be swept up in the maelstrom, and you can expect that you will likely choose to come back in another lifetime to work out the issues. Thus, it is important to work through your own issues first. Have plenty of tools to fall back on when the road gets rocky. Then move forward as you take time each day to reflect upon your actions, choices, and behaviors. Any time when you are off balance and unable to stay centered and peaceful, these are signs of areas to give more reflection to. As God shows us by example, love all others just as they are. But that does not mean you have to be part of their reality, their drama. Instead, use your creative powers to enhance your life. Then you have the opportunity to be a role model to others, if they so choose. This is not meant to be your goal, but for you to create the greatest possible version of yourself in this moment of your life. Have the courage to find yourself. Create yourself and be yourself. Consider yourself an ambassador of God. Use an example such as, what would Jesus do? Instead of Jesus, insert the name of the person or master that you admire or hope to be more like. Jesus. No, Muhammad. Maharaj. I could play with this game all day. Okay. Then follow through using your own creative abilities to craft yourself into the person you will be proud to be. You will never be perfect in the eyes of everyone, so let that concern fall away. The only people who will see you as perfect and not judge you in any way are those who have mastered that ability. They are rare beings. If it is your goal to become unconditionally loving, then work towards that means for yourself. Then, the more you attain this goal, the easier it will be to be unconditionally loving to others. As you hone this skill and ability, the easier it will be to let go of any concerns of the earthly origin. No matter how horrid it is from a human perspective. Remember your roots as a spirit of love and light who has chosen to come to earth to experience what life has to offer here. This is not the reality of the universe, only a small segment, a tiny fraction of the life of your soul and of all creation. Thus, use your time and energy wisely to create and experience the most love, joy, peace, compassion, etc. that you can. Then you will lift yourself out of the blindness of the illusion of life on earth. This is how we see you. Yet, for many of the masters, we too have experienced the reality and the hardships of earth. Yet we are a testament to the fact that those who are diligent will find God. And like each of us, we were surprised to find that we are God. That within each of us is the spark of God that was once the sea of all, everything that is. Strive to make this part of your understanding and reality, and you will witness your life and the world from a new lens. This happens in increments for those who are diligent, and you will experience many aha moments in which greater understanding comes in the twinkling of an eye. We are here to assist you 24/7, anytime, all time, for we are many and we have abilities beyond one's comprehension while in human form. Ask and you will receive, but you must be open to hearing us and raising your vibration in order for us to commune more clearly. You are loved beyond measure. Never forget this. The Masters, dictated by Reverend Theresa Crabtree, share with those who have ears to hear. Please consider joining us for future celestial gatherings. TheresaCrabtree.com. Wow. Okay, so there's a giant strike to the heart here. And I'll see if I can access some of those sharings before parting ways here. I gotta mark out a little bit for like the flow of this video, because like there's the joke, like every single time you point a finger you have three more pointing back at you, like that symbolism of like the shadow work or self-reflection or things that we don't like or that we're talking bad about, like self-reflection, like all those different things, and then how that was in here. I thought that was like, oh, that's funny. I also enjoyed how the word witness was used, and that was also another aspect I enjoy picking up, plus the silence coming through as well. That was also very, very beautiful and perfect timing. Every single time that she's talking about like how we're treating others, I feel like it's very very important that like we are also the others, you know, the multiple different selves. You can think of internal family systems, or just like how every single person you know knows like a different version of you. Maybe to this person, I'm gonna make some random things up. Okay, like maybe they play instruments with you all the time, and they know that side of you. Or maybe this person goes with you to the gym, so they know this side of you. Then this person comes with you to your stand-up comedy stuff, and then these other people, they have no idea how funny you are. Like they just don't get it. Or like, you see what I'm saying? Like there's different versions of ourselves. Or let's say you're a doctor, but maybe to your wife you're not the doctor, right? You're a different character to this person. You're a caregiver, or you're a father to this person. And even though you're doing all these other great things for other people, to these people you're this person, and they can never know this other aspect of you, or because they like that cannot step through. um, so if you need to re-listen to this with keeping in mind, like every single time it's talking about like loving others or how we're treating others, that's like we're giving ourselves the same reverence and having compassion if we're not as well. Kind of like, again, the witness state instead of reactionary. I'm going to look here a little bit at the comments. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Oh, you're not lying. You're not lying. Hey, 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 hey. uh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. 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 Ho'oponopono. Theresa Crabtree. Theresa Crabtree, you're so perfect. Oh my god. I miss you and I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. This is amazing. I have a couple different things I'd love to share with you sometime soon. I hope that we can video chat and catch up. I'm definitely going to be passing this out, you could say, like passing it along. I'll make sure to staple what needs to go together. And then I think I'm gonna like roll them into tubes this time, and then like pass them around like that, like little scrolls. So that'll be really fun. Beautiful, beautiful. There's so much here. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Shanti, 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 shanti.